I think about it not just on the anniversary, I think about it a lot. When I got married, when I had children, when I've got my grandchildren, and I think how blessed I am to have made it back safe because I've had a life.
A former pupil speaking publicly for the first time about an overambitious Cairngorms trek in November 1971. 5 schoolmates and a young instructor died. At some 4,000 feet, climbing club members from Edinburgh's Ainslie Park School split into 2 groups. An experienced party headed to the sanctuary of a high-level bothy. The other 8 were soon lost in a whiteout. 6 of them perished a few hundred yards short of the shelter on a trip designed to improve navigation skills. Attempting to dig a snow hole in freezing 100-mile-an-hour winds on the Cairngorm Plateau, they were quickly engulfed by drifting snow.
It's a flat, featureless bit of plateau with no real markers of that. You could spend a long time not finding the Curran.
An RAF rescuer has recalled how, using an avalanche pole for the first time, he reached 15-year-old pupil Raymond Leslie 4 feet beneath the surface.
He was in this slight ditch and the snow had closed over him and kind of insulated him a wee bit. And as we were digging, we saw slight movement of his limbs and, hey, this guy's alive.
Instructor Cathy Davidson's bright red jacket had been spotted by rescuers crawling on hands and knees, severely frostbitten, seeking help. The storm tested rescuers to their limits over 36 hours.
Full on. You know, up to 100 miles an hour winds, terrible snow blowing, snow falling. Not the sort of snow that you could dig a snow hole into because it was unconsolidated. It was just blasting into your face. You wouldn't be able to see because it would be a whiteout.
All on the expedition suffered to some degree.
There was frostbite on my heels, couldn't wear shoes. But other than that, I was fine. You know, as I say, I always feel I can't talk about, oh, poor me, I came down alive. You know, I came off the mountain. So I find it hard to talk about they seem trivial. Talking about things like that seem trivial.
There was considerable debate in the wake of the tragedy about the value of mountain bothies. Experienced climbers acknowledged the huts had saved lives, but that they'd also tempted the less well prepared onto the hills. After the 1971 disaster, 2 high-level bothies were demolished. The losses prompted a mass application of volunteers to join the local rescue team.
I didn't know much about mountain rescue or winter climbing, but I had an interest in the hills. I went along to the police station and there were 70 people turned up.
The tragedy also sparked an overhaul in the training and safety of children taking part in outdoor pursuits. An accident inquiry apportioned no blame. Lead instructor Ben Beattie died later in a mountaineering accident in the Himalayas. Private memorial services will be held this weekend in Edinburgh and at the outdoor centre at Kincraig, where the school party had been based. A new memorial to honour the youngsters has been installed this week at Laganlear. Created as an outdoor classroom, it has the blessing of relatives of those lost 50 years ago. Ian Ramage, STV News.